Hi, this is Kim Droptiny. I'm reading Beyond the Echo Cavern by BreAnna Teschendorf. I'm on chapter 15, Charlie Challenged. Rivers was right that Charlie and Nicanor were destined to be friends. Nicanor had never before seen the snakes from the darkness of the cave, and he was very interested in Charlie's description of them, as well as Charlie's very detailed description of snakes from our world. Charlie also talked about stars, constellations, etc. Charlie, of course, had a few questions of his own to ask Nicanor about some of the things he had observed in Pergamayan, and was pleased to find his companion intelligent and well-spoken. The two of them made their way around the rock wall of the cave in the opposite direction of the river as they talked, and Charlie carefully observed every inch of the wall, hoping to find yet another secret door or a crack he could fit through. Nicanor even took him to a path that led up onto the top of the rock so that he could observe it from above. Charlie was thankful for his thoughtfulness, especially since Nicanor, like Rivers, already knew that Charlie wouldn't find anything. As the day wore on, Charlie, as predicted, got hungry and pulled the plastic bag of leaves out of his pocket that he had saved earlier. "Hey, Nicanor, are you hungry? I have some leaves here," he told his friend as he pulled it out. He held it up and discovered, to his horror, that the leaves were no longer light brown and crispy. They had turned rotten and were a pile of moldy green, squishy mush all over the bag. Charlie opened the bag, and when he took a whiff, a horrible stench came wafting out to assail his nostrils. Even worse was a disgusting brown maggot on top of the mushy mess. "Oh, pickles! Yuck! What a stink!" he cried, and tossed the bag aside. "I just put those leaves in there a few hours ago. How would a maggot get in there?" Nicanor looked very seriously at Charlie and then went and picked up the bag and tied it closed. Then he asked slowly, "Were you trying to save food, Charlie? Hoan has strictly forbidden us to take more than we need or to store food for later. If we try to save it, it goes bad." "You never store any food?" Charlie asked in honesty, shocked. "Well, what do you do if you get hungry? What do you do in the winter?" he demanded squeakily. "We eat when we get hungry," Nicanor shrugged. He walked over to a tree covered with large orange flowers that had large yellow pollen-covered stamens. That is what the center of flowers are called. "Hoan always makes sure there is plenty of food around. Here, eat this." He plucked 2 flowers and began eating the stamens on one flower. He handed the other flower to Charlie, who ate it gratefully. He ate in silence, ruminating on what Nicanor had told him, and he wondered if he could create a way to save food, like with preservatives from his own world, and sell it. This Hoan, if he did even exist, was making Charlie frustrated with all of his primitive rules. Charlie was so consumed with these thoughts that he barely noticed how much more delicious the flower he was eating was than the plain dry leaves he saved for himself would have been. "What is winter?" Nicanor then asked Charlie, breaking into his thoughts. "Well," Charlie began, taking a deep breath to gear up for a complicated Charlie-styled answer, "I told you that our world is a round orb floating in space, right?" End of chapter 15. I'm going to go right ahead and read 16 because this chapter was so short. So I'll see you in chapter 16, and may God bless you.